Hey, Bulls and Bears, back with another dose of economic reality. It's Tuesday, October 11th, 2022. We've got multiple reports here that several retailers are starting the holiday sales unusually early. Amazon's Prime Day 2 signals holiday spending hurdles. That's out of FOX Biz. We've got Target and Walmart both announcing holiday type savings or early holiday shopping sales. Now, we reported several months ago, and most of you probably know that inventory is very, very bloated at a lot of these retailers. In 2020, companies went out and they panic bought, just like a lot of retailers went out and panic bought. Companies also bought similar to retailers. Remember the toilet paper panic? People panic bought toilet paper because the supply chains were constrained and people thought that they were going to run out. And I guess they thought it was a diarrhea infection. And they went out and panic bought it. There was one story where somebody tried to return a bunch of toilet paper. Anyways, people panic bought, retailers panic bought, not knowing how long this health crisis was going to last. Was it going to be a year? Was it going to be 2? Was it going to be 10 years? Nobody knew. And they panic bought, and now a lot of them have bloated inventory. We gave you stories about how Amazon's canceling leases on several warehouses. And I think the deals are going to be coming up here this holiday season and beyond as the consumer gets maxed out, as the cost of living, the cost of energy, and all these essentials that people have to pay, the cost of rents, everything, bloated, inflated. Energy is going to go back up. I think gas is going to go back up. We'll talk about that in a few minutes here. But what do you think? Do you think this is something extraordinarily unusual, this early holiday shopping here in mid-October? Holiday sales, Black Friday 2, or the early Black Friday sale and the Prime 2 sale. It's phase 2 of this Amazon Prime Day. Let me know what you think down in the comments. But we've got some very, very rocky times ahead of us here. And people, for the most part, I don't think are prepared for what's coming. I know I've said that a few times, but this is a train wreck in slow motion with this economy, the debt levels, and 1 in 4 people now behind on rents. 20 million people can't pay the utility bills. The rescue programs are still implemented in many cities. And now we've got higher interest rates added on top of these all-time high debt levels. 70+% of American people now are in the most debt they've ever been in their entire lives. Yet we're supposed to believe that a low unemployment number is somehow magical and that means that the economy is good and that we're not in a recession. Most of you know this. But more evidence is mounting that the U.S. consumer is very, very strained right now. Here's another report here, Wall Street Journal. PC shipments, that's personal computer, plunged 20%, the steepest drop in 20 years. The steepest drop in 20 years. We're headed into the holiday season. These orders should be increasing, not the steepest drop in plenty of years. That is something that I think is another sign that some bad things are happening with the average U.S. consumers. Pretty obvious to most of us here, but a lot of people just are going about their daily lives as if nothing is wrong. I think we're headed into a depression, not just a recession. There's still debate out there. People are debating if there's a recession or not. I think we're headed into a depression, a global depression, and the United States is not going to be immune to it. In fact, the United States, we're one of the most spoiled nations as far as the people here and our lifestyle, right? We have people here that don't work a day in their lives, but yet they never miss a meal. The food lines, folks, are going to be getting longer while the food supply is going to be getting smaller. And that's not a good combination, not a good combination for any country, especially here in the United States where people are just so used to just having everything handed to them, rescue programs, unlimited spending, world reserve currency, deficits don't matter, debt doesn't matter. Borrow endless amounts of money for whatever you want. It can be sent overseas. It can be sent to this country, that country. It can be used to fund research for fish to grow legs. I mean, just anything crazy that you could think of, money has been spent. to fund it, and that's why I think this country is going to be one of the most worse off when this financial collapse really hits full speed. But let's talk about some other news today. And what are you seeing as far as retail goes? As far as I can see, goods and products are not rising that much. In fact, I got a great deal on a refrigerator. I talked about that, I think, last month. Our microwave blew up a couple weeks ago. Quit working, didn't really blow up, but functionality blew up. And I went out and bought a microwave, 1,000+ watts. You know, not the best microwave in the world, but not the tiniest or cheapest either. Got it for like under $70. So I'm not seeing huge inflation in some products, but in energy, people's utility bills, rents, I see a lot of pain out there. 1 in 4 people, as I reported in our previous report, 1 in 4 people behind on their rent in some states. And this is not good, folks, and it's just going to get worse. If it was just 1 in 4 people in some of these states and things were on the turnaround, you know, people were starting to save more money, the cost of living was coming down, the cost of energy, then that would be a different story. But we're headed into even worse conditions. Is it going to be 1 in 2 people not paying their rent here in a few months? How bad is this going to get? But that's what happens when you have endless amounts of money creation, endless amounts of spending, debt creation, and banks that can never fail. This is what the outcome is. It's runaway inflation or inflation to infinity. Where does it end? I don't know. People being maxed out, tapped out on their personal finances, endless rescue programs to help people make it through. But what are they making it through? There's nothing to make through because this is permanent. Inflation is here to stay. And yes, things are going to continue to get worse. We have stories like this here. U.S. Congressman introduces gold standard bill as inflation spirals out of control. That was reported out of Z-Hedge and some other outlets there. The Sound Money Defense League. It's not going to happen. You're not going to get enough votes on that. The people that are put in charge to vote for these things are getting rich off of the way things are right now. Most of these people that have the task of either voting or not voting for this or voting yes or no, most of these people are making millions of dollars off of the way things are right now, the fiat money system. So of course they're not going to vote to constrain the creation of money, because that would be basically voting to shoot themselves in the foot financially. And you know, I see a few other channels talking about it, and some of them are getting excited. Oh, the gold standard's coming back. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. The people that are going to vote for this, the people that are not going to vote for it, again, are not going to vote to hurt themselves and their family financially. Not going to happen. All right, now let me be clear, because people ask me about this. Ultimately, yes, we are going back to sound money, gold and silver backed currency. I think it's going to be integrated with a new digital type of system where there will be checks and balances on the amount of money that gets loaned, issued, created, etc. And that's why I think stacking metals is still something very, very smart to do. Now, some people are only holding cash or stacking cash because they're waiting for deals. They're waiting for home prices to come down. They're waiting for car prices to come down. Everyone's different. I do happen to be waiting for some deals in those categories also, and trying to hold as much cash as possible, but also still stacking silver. Those are the main two things right now, cash and silver. People are investing in the markets, hoping the market's going to go back up. I'm not in the markets right now because I know the markets are so manipulated. And with the actions that are taken right now, with the balance sheet being reduced, I don't think it's a good place to be in the stock market. Some people are buying what they think is the dip. Just not something I'm doing at this point. Another story here on credit card spending. Americans are trying to keep up with the cost of living, and they're putting it on plastic. Another huge jump in debt, no surprise. The question today, though, is where does this end? Consumers don't have an unlimited credit ceiling on these credit cards. In August, revolving credit increased by a staggering 18% as total consumer debt surged to a record $4.68 trillion, according to the latest consumer data out of the Fed. So where does it end? People are not going to be able to keep this up forever. We see that defaults are increasing on auto loans very slowly, very slowly. Is it going to be a waterfall at some point? Is this going to break all at once? Or is it just going to be a steady decline that's going to take years and years of financial pain to get through. Please let me know what you think down in the comments. Also, what do you think about these early holiday sales? Just the typical sales, one retailer trying to get out in front of the other one, or something bigger happening? Do these consumers see the writing on the wall that this holiday season is going to be painful for a lot of people? Please let me know what you think down in the comments. Hope you guys like this update. Thanks for being here and for all your support. Bye for now. Peace.